thank you for taking the time to watch this, LoadProof video case study. This is another video case study about a small 3PL. They are small, one facility, based out of Memphis, Tennessee, and they have some very, very interesting products. Like a lot of this vape products, right? It's the e-cigarettes and the vape products that they are shipping on behalf of their customers. And when she was this is Kelsey is the lady that reached out to us, and we set her up. And they started with the very, very basic plan, and they even though they're small normally, right, the small 3PLs are very scrappy, and they want to save dollars in all possible ways. So started with the very, very basic plan, and then they saw the value, and then they automatically upgraded, right? We didn't even say anything or ask her anything, but they saw the value and they automatically upgraded. And the biggest challenge with Kelsey was being a small 3PL. They just didn't have the discipline, right? I mean, if you're running a small organization, 20 people, 30 people, all of them personally, and you kind of, running it like a family, it's sometimes difficult to, inculcate the discipline in terms of, getting them to follow processes. I've worked with some similar back in the day when I was implementing WMS, and these guys are so close and they worked almost like a family, and the discipline was just, oh my God, it was just so difficult to enforce that discipline, and they completely lost that discipline. It was a mess. And finally, there's another major, a complete new warehouse manager came and, enforced that discipline. Just, sorry for the digression here. So now, coming back to this Novex guys, I mean, they did a great job using LoadProof. And the biggest problem was that Kelsey will have to constantly chase these people asking for photos, right? And obviously they're, first of all, they're a 3PL, so, they don't have, it's tough to, spend dollars and get the best workforce that is available. So they got, whatever workforce that works for them. And also, enforcing the discipline was difficult. And these people would take, photos using their smartphones, and then, one day would not even show up to work. They would be gone. So none of that data was available, and that was a really, really painful thing for Kelsey to deal with. And Kelsey was shipping on behalf of their customer to the distribution centers from where they would fulfill orders for convenience stores. So essentially there will be trucks that will take the product from those DCs and go to each convenience store and replenish, right? That was the process. And she was not she was not dealing with the end, those distribution centers, but she had a customer that she had to report to, saying that, hey, we did our job right. Basically, right, the manufacturers or whoever it is. So that's what she was doing, and without photos, or it was so difficult to chase those photos, chasing the people to get the photos from their smartphone, whatever they were doing from their personal smartphone. So that's why she turned on LoadProof, and it was very, very useful for Kelsey, and they did they saved ton of dollars, and especially their customer pays for the carrier. Even these guys don't pay the carrier, so that means it's tough to that's another thing. Many small vendors, many small suppliers, many small 3PLs struggle with this because they don't directly deal with the carrier. They don't even know that, hey, because I'm shipping, I'm the one that's handing over the product to the carrier, I have the legal right to go and claim, hey, if it's, say that it's not my fault, right? And often, because it's the carrier is paid by their customer, it's tough to have that conversation with the carrier, and even the customer, won't believe all the time. It's tough to communicate that, to the customer as well. So that's where, the photos are very, very helpful to show that, hey, we did our job right, and this is the condition that the product left the warehouse, and everything is perfect, right? I mean, when you don't have such photo proof, when you don't have such, anything to show that, hey, you did your job right, and whether your customer blames you, which is a OEM, because you're a 3PL offering, distribution service for your customer, and also, the other, distributors, they blame you, saying that, hey, you didn't ship the product right. That's why they, arrived in that damaged condition, or there was a shortage, or there was a, overage, whatever, right? I mean, usually people don't report the overage if it's there. That is also another thing. So Kelsey was dealing with all these challenges, and then she ran into LoadProof, and then she figured out, hey, we'll use LoadProof, and then we set her up, and they had tremendous, I mean, especially if you're a small 3PL, anything you can save is a big deal. And not only that, and your reputation, right? You're saving, you're showing your customers, hey, I'm doing a great job. The reputation is saved, and you're not having to deal with unnecessary blame game, right? So yeah, with that, Kelsey is super happy, and it's a small 3PL. Even though it's a small 3PL, right, we are still able to add so much value. That is the beautiful thing right here. Even though it's a small 3PL, sometimes it's the small 3PLs don't engage with us very well, because the way they operate is that they just execute, hey, whatever our customer says, we'll do it, right? That's how they operate. But the big 3PLs are able to recommend the best practices, recommend the tools like LoadProof. The small 3PLs struggle because they bend over backwards just to keep the customer happy, and they don't want to bring this up as one more expense for them. But they don't realize that, hey, if I once you are able to articulate the value prop with the customer, not only you can pass on the subscription cost to the customer, because they're always willing to pay for it, because the inventory sits in their financials, and they want to make sure that's reflected accurately in their financials. So that's been a big thing for them. So they care about the inventory a lot more, and they're willing to pay for the service, so they can get visibility, access to the photos. And also the 3PLs can charge, right, for the labor that's spent with the OEM. I mean, it's right, obviously, right, this is going to produce, promote transparency. This is going to promote, that trust. Your relationship is going to get better. So all those things you just have to nicely and beautifully articulate with them, and you can get that done. So you could have the benefits, and when you can have the cake and eat it too. You can have the benefits. You can show that to your customer that you're doing a great job, and also pass on, it's a nice value add for them. So reach out to us. We'll be happy to help. We've helped ton of 3PLs, whether they're big or small. It's just that the big ones have much better leverage. The small ones, sometimes they're hesitant and struggle to articulate this with their customers. So please reach out to us. We'll be happy to help, and we'll be you'll be so glad you did. That I can guarantee you. And we don't want to sell something that you don't need. I mean, if you're not happy, if you don't like it, no questions asked. But we guarantee you that if you try the free trial, you will definitely find value. So reach out to us, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.